We've come a long way. I love that intro.
Oh yeah, you like that one, huh? Yeah.
That was my favorite one yet, for sure. And that
Yeah, me
beats
too.
out the McHenry one.
Well, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
there was
No,
some.
come on.
I know I got you, but I mean there was some original stuff in there. It's good to have the voiceover and stuff. That it was a nice put
Yes.
together. But yes, I know what you mean. I
Well,
like it.
it's the voice that makes his,
Yes,
you
it
know.
is. Yep.
But that one, that just kicks it over the top for me, that one.
There
I
you
like
go.
it.
And yes, going through portals in time and
Yeah.
space and dimensions.
And the warp space slowdown at the end,
Yes,
that goes
right.
on. Yeah, that gets me every time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I love all the tools, man. You know how crazy it is. We used to make videos all the time. I'm sure, me and you, Tim, we used to do
Sure.
stuff even 10, 12, 15 years ago. And wow, times have changed, man. Crazy.
It's very funny how
Yep.
everything's come so far.
Look at Sniper. He never did videos before, and he's a video making champion. He's got some cool.
All kinds of stuff now.
I know, man. You like it too,
All
huh?
motion GIFs, the
Yeah.
whole thing.
I've been working about 4 hours today on just different kinds of stuff, just all kinds of monster stuff. Trying to create content to put out for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
It's fun. It is fun.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that kind of making videos and stuff like that. And editing, not my favorite, but it's okay, right? But I just like all the cool tools that are available, especially now with the AI. Pretty good stuff. And yes, I missed everybody yesterday. Sorry, we were kind of a little hiatus, and we're good to go. The other thing, before we even kind of jump into it too, I'm thinking, unless there's some breaking news or something, really happening, wild, whether it's in our ecosystem, crypto, whatever. Not sure. We might do, every weekend, right? Might be like a Monday through Friday type thing, weekends off. Not sure, but we're thinking about that, right? There's no reason. You all right, Tim? What happened? You good?
No, I'm good.
Oh no, I'm saying it went dark, bro. You went dark.
Oh, I switched screens over here. If I'm not on a
Okay.
white screen,
That's right.
It brights up. So
I got you. Yeah. But yes, all
checking
good.
things out.
So just letting y'all know, thinking about it, so maybe Saturday and Sundays, maybe not content, but hey, something's breaking. We'll definitely jump on no matter what time of day. That's why it's good that you're subscribed and that you have that notification bell hit, because if we do spin up something that's live, you're probably going to want to check it out, right?
You never know when that portal's going to open.
You don't. You never know. It is a lot of stuff.
And I doubt it's
going
to
open
be
tonight. Who knows? It's been 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks since the launch and 27 minutes. So who knows?
Oh, look at that's good.
We know the odds of it happening at 8 p.m. on any night of the week is pretty low. So it's going to happen some random time. So
why is it low? That's when the portal opened, man. What are you talking about? Why is it low? Portal opened on 8 p.m. the one time.
Right. Yeah. So the portal appeared.
Yes.
It hasn't opened yet. We got to get inside.
You got to claim your stamp, kind of, sort of, like getting in the game, a little bit. We got our first ticket.
The velvet rope is still out front. And we're not getting through there. So, when the velvet rope goes away, it's not going to be at 8 p.m.
All good. Let me see here. Got Dan. Hello. Let's go monsters. That's what I'm talking about, Dan. That's right. Happy Friday. Decrypting chaos. Yes. Been a busy week and the monsters are rocking it. Appreciate you, hanging out with us on your Friday. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Staying warm and yes, it's probably chilly in a lot of places, except for down in Florida, maybe South Texas, Arizona, right? But yes, pretty chilly around here. Happy Friday, Steve. Good to see you. Thank you for the message too. Yes, I'm glad we're kind of switching up some content. GM Monster Fam, hope you had a great week. Thank you, Michelle. You too. And Matt, good to see you. Nothing like a Friday crypto education. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be talking about RWAs. We've been, hitting at it a little bit here and there. Tim has touched on what he's doing kind of with the real estate. But yeah, we're just going to kind of dive in and talk about, what this looks like. Because again, it's not there yet, right? But there are some places, like I'm going to even show you something with Chainlink. You would be surprised. It's pretty cool what they've been doing. Got a little video with them, right? Woohoo. Enjoy the great weekend. Yes. Thank you. Ella. Appreciate you. TGIF. GM. Yes, Hatsek. It is a good Friday. Happy Friday, Monster Fam. Floor to you as well. And one for each. Thank you, Evelyn. Appreciate you watching down there in South America. You're all awesome. Let's go. What's up, Josh? What's up, fam?
What up? What up?
Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to see you, brother. Yes, and to all the monsters. Night out. TGIF. Yes, glad you're back. Thank you. Thank you. What's the we got some stuff, Night Owl. We got some stuff. Jason Golly, good to see you, brother. What's shaking? Good to see you, my man. And yes, have a great weekend. It is going to be a monster weekend, monster week, monster month. So, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if you want to jump in your news. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about you had some things, or we wanted to get into the RWAs.
Well, I'll give you my non-RWA.
That's good.
This
Think
is
I
just
know.
my piece of news that I thought was exciting.
Exciting.
And whether you like them or not, I think the news is good. Share, boom. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Donnie T, in his election bid, is saying that he vows to never allow central bank digital currencies if elected.
Oh.
So that is basically going to shut down the Fed, because when crypto adoption happens, the dollars which are becoming more and more worthless every day, if they don't have a CBDC, there's not much hope left for them. Cash will be fun on the side, but as we're looking at real world assets and tokenization of everything that we're going to be talking about tonight, without using Bitcoin, ETH, M2, or your other favorite currency, I think most dealings are going to be happening with cryptocurrency, and
Right.
eventually, right?
Sure.
It's going to be a long road to full adoption, but without the central bank digital currencies in the way, I think it'll be very, very exciting from there. So I think that's a great thing for him to do. I hope that others that are going to be running would do that. I don't think that Bidenomics subscribes to that kind of thing. I'm sure he wants to get his hands onto that CBDC program.
Well, you can
But
hear it, that Elizabeth Warren, that whole little group over there, of course, that's their thing. Cozying up to the big, the big institutions and the Jamie Dimons of the world. So, yeah, man, kind of funny, right?
yeah, they hate crypto. It's for criminals and money laundering, but they want to put out their own. So I don't understand it, and
Well, yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. So
yes, you did.
that's my news story that I wanted to share.
I like it. We'll see. Like you said, I think you're going to see. Obviously, it's going to be a big election thing, right? If people
It
don't
should
realize,
be. It
well,
should be a huge thing.
if they don't know, they better find out real quick.
Well, I'm sure you have updates on the balances, but I mean, I think I also saw a story. I didn't peg it, but they were saying that BlackRock is buying is it 6 million Bitcoin a day or something like that? Not 6 million,
No.
6,000 Bitcoin
Yeah.
a day, 6,000 Bitcoin
Sure.
a day, and that's gonna in 18 months. That's going to cause the supply to dry up if they keep up that pace. 6,000 Bitcoin a day.
It's quite a bit.
It is quite a bit, and that pace is pretty strong. But when there's such a limited supply, they don't have much choice. If they're going to be players in the game, or they want to lead the game, they're going to need as much Bitcoin as they can get their hands on. But that, of course, we know about supply and demand, and if they keep at that pace, supply is going to dry up sooner or later.
Yep.
I know everybody has their price, but that's good. That's quite a pace they got going there.
They're climbing up that leaderboard quick as far as wallet holders. Bitcoin Magazine actually tweets out every morning how much Bitcoin they are holding, and they're buying it up pretty quick. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I had you were mentioning that about Trump. I had come across an article that or a bill that Tennessee had proposed to fight against CBDCs in their state. So it's pretty cool to see that, like a whole state say, "Hey, we're not going to allow this in our state." So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Hello, Ariel. Just get some more people jumping in. Hello, Deborah. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Snow day. Yes, up north. But yeah, hey, did you want me to pull that up? What you had, Sniper?
Yeah. Little NFT news.
Awesome. Love some
About
NFT
the
news.
NFT market, somebody did a little sweeping today, just a little cleanup on the
Oh.
crypto punks. So somebody swept 18 of them for 1,067 ETH today. So
Woo.
just a little pickup there.
1,067 ETH.
Hey, but that's a good
Mhm.
price. Was it 2.6? They used to be $1 million a piece, weren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were looking at other right and kind of comparing them to the monsters. 50 ETH is what the floor was. And yeah, they come through and swept it. So a little
Wow.
bullish sentiment in the NFT world.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of wild, bro. Good
That's
one.
for sure. Sweeping that floor big time.
That's some healthy ETH right there. So yeah, what did you say? How many was it all together? Two, where's it? 12,
18.
20?
Yep.
Yeah. Right on, bro. Wow. Like to sweep that floor. That's what I'm talking about. That's nice. But yes, appreciate it, guys. Good stuff. Let me jump into traditional, from traditional to digital. What we're talking about, RWAs. And a lot of potential, a lot of power, a lot of stuff that needs to be all of a sudden digitized, right? So I'm going to kind of skip through this. Over here, you're just talking about what type of things that people are thinking about that they're going to, kind of make this RWA, right? You're talking about real estate, cars, gold, art, bunch of things, and that's just a few to name, right there. But what does it mean for tokenization with these RWAs? And this is just a little illustration. I'm going to read, right here. Imagine Company A wants to let regular people like you and me become owners of a piece of their company, or we talked about it way back a couple years ago of buildings, right? Even the Empire State Building, things like that. But you don't want to give away the whole company. You just want to give out maybe 25% of it, whatever. So what they do is something super cool. Instead of giving it out as paper certificates like traditional stock, they utilize the power enabled by the blockchain. They transform their ownership into special digital tokens for which each token represents a part of the company. And most of us, again, we've went through this a couple times right now. And that could be, and it'll say this, and again, somewhere else in there, it could be actual cryptocurrencies, or you could talk about non-fungible tokens, right? So that's a cryptocurrency as well. So however they would want to digitize these assets, they can do that in here, right? Maybe if they wanted to have some more kind of utility in there by owning this, you can do it with NFTs as well. So how do blockchain and smart contracts play a crucial role in tokenizing real estate or real world assets? I jumped right into real estate. So first is token creation, and again, smart contracts enable the creation of digital tokens. Again, this could be representing ownership or fractional shares of tangible assets. These tokens can be interchangeable or the non-fungible type, right? That we just kind of mentioned. So there's two ways you can make them right there. The other thing is security and trust. The use of cryptography and digital signatures enhances security and trust in the tokenization process. Only authorized parties can validate transactions or transfer ownership, making it difficult for malicious actors to manipulate or tamper with ownership. That's huge. Now, I don't know, Tim or Dusty, is this something that does it happen with liens or titles or when you're doing this with how is there? I'm saying I'm not telling you to throw anybody on their bus, but there's can be manipulation, right? Even to like house inspections, right? People kind of fudge that stuff a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, that stuff gets fudged all over the place. But as far as you have title insurance, and there's
Yeah.
title companies out there that insure the title, that the records going back, were never manipulated.
Mm.
So, let's just say grandma didn't sell her house to Junior, and Junior then sells it to somebody else. They insure the title records. That's just a very simplistic example, but you got to make sure that every party that was involved in the transaction going back, the house I was in was built in 1914, and it was probably sold 7 or 8 times. So that title company goes back and searches the records and makes sure that no one else has claim to that property.
Mm.
And that's very important. And that stuff is not on the blockchain. They have, different record books and things that places they search. So title companies are the number one. I would think the number one place that we have to install the blockchain first,
Yeah.
and then town halls, which would also be very a daunting task. But yeah, I mean that's the most important stuff is the history of the property and who's owned it.
Hmm.
As far as warranties and everything like that for home inspections, or if it's a new roof, when you put it on, what would you do with it? I mean, that would be great stuff to have on the blockchain that a new owner could go back and look at.
Yeah.
But y- you know at some point you have to just move on from that kind of situation. But yeah, I mean, security and trust, huge thing that the blockchain is going to play in the future. But it's a daunting task with the so many properties and so many town halls with just record books in the basement kind of thing.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, crazy
Yep.
stuff.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is I used to have this thing, and it was when I lived in Florida in Tampa, but it was like it wasn't homeowners insurance, but it would cover all the appliances and all the
Sure.
right? It was ridiculous.
Hmm.
It was the most worthless thing I ever purchased in my life, right? Because they
Yeah.
didn't cover anything. Once the AC broke and I did that thing, yeah, they just wiggled their way out. Said it was too old, right? The time it. So just saying, I'm thinking like this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That would fix a lot of that stuff because they could have told me at the beginning that they weren't going to cover that type of stuff because the
Yeah.
age, things like that. So,
Well, that depends on what company you go with. One of the first houses I sold was my I sold my sister's house,
mhm,
and I sold it with that homeowner's warranty. That was part of the deal that I offered as a realtor to the buyers, that, oh, I would warranty the home appliances. And so we picked a reputable company, and about a month and a half after they purchased it, the boiler, acted up and whatever, and the company that I used replaced the boiler.
mm,
So it was a big deal, and something that the buyers were extremely happy that I provided when I was selling the house. So you gotta be wary of the company or insurance company or whoever, the warranty company that you're picking when you do that
right.
kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. Um, Ownership transfer. Smart contracts facilitate secure and transparent transfer of asset ownership once certain preconditions are met. These conditions may include completing payment or meeting regulatory requirements. So we're going to stay on this one, like I said, for a little bit, this page, because this kind of just giving you the whole kind of overview of what this all looks like. Down to tokenizing it, regulatory things. I just want to talk about what all this entails. There's a lot to it, and that's why it's been such a process. We've been talking about the real estate stuff and just kind of real world assets for a while, but to have all of this on the chain, right, with all this data, all of this history, all on a blockchain is quite a feat. So this is why we're going over it. Fractional ownership.
Yeah, I think and this is the one I'm most interested in, is the fractional ownership here, because that's gonna be the most interesting part, right? Like, you got more people trying to include more people on housing ownerships just because of inheritance taxes and all this stuff. We've actually got a friend who got in a bad pickle because they had their children on the house. One of the children got in a wreck and they got sued. The insurance
Mhm.
policy for the automobile didn't cover the entire cost of what they were sued for. So they come after their house because the child was listed on the house. So I'm really interested in this part of it, the fractionalized ownership, where you can break off pieces of that, where they can't come up after the whole thing, but
Right.
you kind of get away from some of that stupid tax stuff that they get hit with after your passing. I don't think should be there. I think it's just covered by way robbery when that stuff happens. So
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
really interested in this part of it.
It is, and what's cool is we had somebody, I'm not going to name names or anything, but in our community, and we got on a couple calls with his company. He was an accountant with a big oil company, and it was very unique because what he was trying to get them to understand is this fractional ownership stuff, right?
Mhm.
It's hard, for like deep water exploration of oil. That's billions and billions and
Sure.
billions of dollars, right? And to find that type of investor, there's only a few of them out there, right?
Yeah.
It's not a big pool to go looking for these huge investments, and sometimes obviously it's countries putting those investments in as well. But what he was explaining to him is you could fractionalize all this, right? And a
Right.
bunch of people, regular people like you and I, we could go and buy some of these tokens, and now they can use this, and they just raised $10 billion through this fractional ownership, right? Through
Right.
regular people across the world. And
Mhm.
that's the point of what and you'll see we're going to get into. I know I'm jumping ahead, but it's making it available to many more people than what we had before. Instead of just a few, now you're opening it up to the entire world. Where I mean, somebody could buy $100 worth, right? You just get
Right.
100 million people to do that. You're doing pretty well, right? You just raise the money you're looking for. So just saying, that's another amazing part of this fractional ownership and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's easy to jump ahead to real estate, right? But we've kind of seen
Yeah.
this already in art. Very, very expensive art pieces kind of going digital, and you can actually fractionalize that as well, where was it like you was talking about where there's digital signatures that have to happen for anything to happen with that, versus just one person having that ownership. Maybe you can assign 5 people in your estate or trust to have ownership of that. Before that ever gets moved, it has to have those at least 3 of those 5 signatures, 4 of those 5 signatures or something. So
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Well, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, but you remember when when the group spun up and raised like $40+ million to buy a copy of the
Constitution.
Declaration of the
Oh,
Constitution?
yep.
Constitution. Yeah. And then one guy outbid them. But
Mhm.
they raised dozens and dozens of millions of dollars,
Yep.
all fractionally owned. And I guess they created a DAO, right? So they could do this, but they were going to buy one of the last remaining copies of
Mhm.
the Constitution, and that was amazing. But yeah, they got outbinned at the end of the day. But that was crazy, and but they could have done it. The other part that is a little crazy is that most of the you were talking about oil investments and everything like that. Most of those things are right now blocked off to accredited investors,
Mhm.
where you got to have quarter million or $500,000 in the bank before they let you into the pool. And I know obviously that $40 million investment in the Constitution would have been a big investment. But going after an oil rig or oil exploration, that's a risky business,
Mm.
right? So they try and protect investors by having that minimum in there. But this, obviously, if they spell out the risks, and anybody should be able to make their own informed decisions and do your own homework. And the what's got to happen is that people have to be able to have some kind of verification of who's presenting those kind of offers, right?
Mhm.
Because that oil rig exploration thing, it's not just Forrest Gump saying we're going for a ride, to look for underwater oil. It's got to be some Texaco kind of company or something like
Sure.
that, or
Right.
whoever's been in business for a while. It's not somebody sparking up an idea like, oh, I'm a scuba diver.
Somebody with a metal detector out there
Yeah, yeah, a scuba diver and a metal
and a flash.
detector.
Yeah, there you go. And a flashlight. That's it.
Right.
But liquidity in secondary markets, right? There's all kinds of things that this is a benefit to. Blockchain-based platforms and decentralized application DApps can create secondary markets where tokenized assets can be bought, sold, and traded. These markets enhance liquidity by removing traditional limitations associated with the transfer physical asset, kind of stuff you were just talking about. Tim, is you got to be qualified, right? Type this,
Yep.
that's where it's going to fix a lot of that kind of stuff. And say you were invested into this, right? Something emergency happened, right? You could just sell it out on the open market. These
Right.
tokens, great liquidity, and now you're out, right? It's way different than there's some of this long-term stuff sometimes, right? I don't know. Yes, there you go. And no worries. Thank you, Sabina. But yes, there's a lot of kind of pluses with this. RWA in DeFi. Decentralized finance, DeFi, established the groundwork for a fresh financial ecosystem by replacing traditional intermediaries with code and trust with the security provided by immutable smart contracts. To go beyond magic internet money, we look to asset tokenization as the bridge between conventional financial markets and DeFi. RWAs may be the key to a global adoption of DeFi, right? So that, yeah, I mean, you've seen a lot of stuff where, you're doing liquidity pools, you're doing all this and mashing tokens together, and now you're compounding and you're doing it. Now, imagine you have some of this stuff where you're folding in real estate, right? You're folding in, like Dusty said, artwork. There's a lot of stuff that you can do and, kind of put this in DeFi type of terms. And now you're really, doing some cool things, right? So investors and lending institutions can assess different assets and risks to provide liquidity in exchange for an interest rate, and RWA owners can use their illiquid assets as collateral for obtaining loans. So again, pretty cool. You're starting to see how and why this could be such an incredible thing. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. And now you're kind of melding it with this digital world, so it can be amplified and even more. There's a lot more there too. Benefits of real world asset tokenization. So increased, we already kind of touched on this already. Increased liquidity. Fractional ownership becomes possible, enabling individuals to invest in smaller portions of valuable assets and trade these tokens on decentralized exchanges, providing enhanced liquidity and access to a broader range of investors. And much more accessible by just having a MetaMask, and then you putting some Ethereum in that MetaMask, and now you're able to purchase some kind of art piece, some kind of building. I remember we used to talk about the Empire State Building, right, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
None of us could own a skyscraper, but it would be amazing if 25% of that building was tokenized, right? Not saying all of it. 75% is already with the people that do their thing, right? But if they just did 25% of that building, pretty cool, pretty neat with what you could do with these real world type assets. All right, let's see. Let me see what Jordan say. Oh, good evening, Janet. That an architect, correct? Killing me, share, like, all good, George. Thank you for the share, like, and subscribe. Appreciate it. It's helpful, and it helps the algorithm. People get to see what we're talking about.
With that, Ray, you got to do your Klaus Schwab imitation. What's his quote?
You will own nothing, and you will like it. Yes.
I will change that around to you can own a piece of everything, and you'll love it.
Correct.
So you just own a fraction of the Empire State Building or the Constitution or whatever, and just reap the rewards a little bit from everything. And that's what we want to do in DeFi.
Yeah. Or you could just listen to these guys,
like that. And so my theory is go to where the bees are. Where the bees are, where all the investors are. So we I don't know if you can hear that, but we just follow the bees.
There you go. Yeah. Or listen
just
to them.
Follow the bees.
Just follow the bees. But yes, enhanced transparency and accountability. That's really needed. I can tell you that. It's pretty needed.
Yep.
With RWAs on the blockchain, ownership records and transaction histories become transparent to everyone. Blockchain's inherent transparency and immutability ensure that investors can verify the authenticity and existence of tokenized assets. Right? It's something that this world really hasn't had. There's so much opaqueness, right? Just hidden. We don't even know how our treasury and Federal Reserve works. Everybody, right? Our entire monetary system We've never audited. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. It's kind of ridiculous. It's laughable, but it's what's happening.
Well, then, then maybe there's a case for CBDCs because then they're on the blockchain and there's no, oh, we're just going to spit out another trillion coins. And you'd be like, what? What?
Well, they'll have their own tornado cash, right? It'll be inside of the fellas. When it comes in, it'll be tornado cash. It's all good. All good. Here's another one. Awesome. Enables borderless accessibility. RWA's tokenization removes barriers to entry that exist in traditional asset investments, such as you just mentioned this, high capital requirements and regional constraints. It enables investors from all over the world to access and invest in real-world assets that were previously exclusive. And you touched on that. I mean, there's so much that we don't even get to even see. We don't even know, right? And it's because obviously we're not on that accredited type system, right? Reduced transaction costs. There you go. I like that one. As soon as ETH's going to fix that too. Mm-hmm. Tokenizing RWAs reduces administrative costs associated with traditional markets by eliminating intermediaries. Smart contracts encode all the necessary functionalities, including ownership rules, revenue distribution, and execution of predefined asset management conditions. Right? Making it easy, getting rid of all the middlemen. That is a beautiful thing that allows just the actual owners or the people who create these type of things and the people that invest and put their whether they're crypto or their investments all in there, they get to make that decision and they don't have to be the gatekeepers that we're all kind of used to. Creates new markets and participants. Tokenizing assets on the chain allows once illiquid assets to move seamlessly across DeFi, leading to the creation of new markets, financial products, and offerings. RWAs provide a new and existing market participants with access to risk-free and stable returns that were previously unavailable. So I'm going to kind of skim through this, though. This is the next talking about involved. These are the steps involved in tokenization of RWAs. So, just the bold stuff: identification and evaluation of the assets. That's going to be a big one, right? You got to go through all, the past history of the house. If we're talking about real estate, anything that's been upgraded, they got new roofs, they got this, they got that. There's a lot of things. And I mean, you're just talking about real estate, let alone art, commodities, all kinds of things, right? The value, the profitability. There is a lot to look into when you're trying to make this real in IRL. Assembling asset structure. Factors are considered to make the asset suitable for tokenization. Determining the minimum investment amount, defining rights and benefits for token ownership, governance, decision making. There's a lot, right? It's not just some easy thing to throw it on the blockchain and now we're good to go. Legal and regular. This is one of the biggest ones because we don't have any regulatory compliance, right? It's hard to go and start doing this, and then all of a sudden they change the rules on you, and now all that work, everything that you've been building, might as well throw it in the trash, right? So that's another thing that's been kind of holding up all this stuff is the regulatory compliance stuff. Creation.
Well, that's probably that's probably the way it's going to go, right? Like we don't know. We don't understand it. So y'all build, and then we'll tell you if it's allowed or not. What you've got to change to make it compliant. It's been so far, and I think it's still going to be the way going forward, especially with all this stuff.
Well, that's what Gensler's been doing to the companies, right? I mean, that's what is exactly just did with Binance. He just did it with Coinbase. He just did it with Ripple. Just did it. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing, but they need to change that. Hopefully, like with Tim. Just popped up before with maybe some new political stuff getting in there. Not saying just specifically that guy, right? I mean, you need an entire whole new House and Senate. So there's a lot. It's not just going to be, whatever. You could say whatever when this guy, gets in, maybe doesn't get in, does get in. It's not just him. Need a lot of people, not a lot of assistance, right?
One guy is not going to fix it.
He isn't. That's why you need to be aware.
They just had a big hiring spree last year, right? Wasn't that last year when they hired all these IRS agents? Why do you hire crypto people, blockchain people? You know, that could start educating the system on this. That would have seemed like kind of a smart move.
Would have been.
Those 87,000 IRS agents never got hired. That got vetoed out of that.
Whatever, bill. Tim. Whatever.
No, they weren't hired. So it's good for us.
Good job. Sure, Tim. Sure. They're just the secret ones, man. They're underground. Come on, Tim. I'm just joking, bro. Creation and issuance of tokens, probably. I don't think it's the biggest hurdle, right? I think once everybody knows all this previous stuff, you can program that right in. I just think that you can do anything you want with these smart contracts. I think there's been so much built, people can borrow and put all of that and integrate it. Right? I don't know, but I'm just saying there's a lot of open source code out there. Probably get that one done kind of easy once you know the regulatory things and all that other stuff. Investor onboarding, right? Know your customer, KYC, AML, anti-money laundering verifications, a lot of that kind of stuff. It would be more, I would say, centralized. You're talking about, if this is buildings and real estate, you can't be just some guy that just downloaded a MetaMask, right? I don't know how that works, right? Asset purchase and trading. Tokens are available for purchase by investors globally. This provides liquidity and allows investors to easily buy, sell, or trade their ownership stake in the asset. Ongoing asset management, right? You're going to have somebody that's overlooking that, right? And then regulatory changes, periodic audits, governance things, right? There's all kinds of stuff that, these are the kind of things that, and of course we can say and look to AI, that kind of stuff again. But, we've all been saying, the AI is going to do this, that. There's going to be these new types of positions opened in this new kind of technological, future. So just saying, these are all jobs. I know these aren't at universities yet, right? Nobody's got some governance DAO administrator. I don't see that as a job yet, but they're going to be out there. Right? I don't know. Barriers to growth. We talked about this one already, right? Regional regulatory variances. Don't know. If you're going to do this globally, every country has different rules. That's difficult. That's a pretty high hurdle to get over when we're talking about a global type, framework. So I don't know. We'll see. Asset valuation, valuing illiquid or unique assets accurately can be challenging. That is absolutely an issue you got to look at. Scalability and interoperability. As RWA increases on chain, blockchain platforms need to handle high transaction volumes efficiently, and different platforms should be able to communicate and interact seamlessly. Scalability and interoperability solutions are still being developed. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're still being developed. And, some are just launching, right? That's great. It's awesome. Investor education and awareness. That's kind of what it's all of our jobs right now, right? People, probably a lot of friends, a lot of family tired of hearing us of what we talk about and get the glazed eyes. But this is what we've been here in this space for 4, 5, 7, 10 years. This is what we've been doing, right? Because we are educated, we are aware, and you need to start explaining this to people in these, different sectors. That's the point. Share these videos. Technology and platform risks. Various risks pose barriers to adoption of RWAs. So yes, there's a lot of risk with breaches, wallet breaches, and we haven't seen it with where MetaMask or anything. You hear these things about breaches. Guess what? It's failure of a person. It's a failure of maybe a contract that wasn't audited, right? You hear that these, I don't know, this DAO got hacked into or something like that. Those are breaches in, people having little openings in, a contract or something like that, where you're doing bridges, right? Look at these things. They're like when maybe Polygon is trying to talk to Ethereum. There's a bridge. That's what people get after, everybody. It's not the actual chains. They're doing the very soft security part where maybe they didn't bridge properly, right? Or a MetaMask where we see somebody clicking on a bad link, right? That's what you got to be careful of, especially like I said on these type of things. But again, you got to mitigate it. Of course, these platforms that are doing this heavily audit it. You have to go and make sure all these things are working perfectly. Here we go with the future. Interoperability and cross-chain transactions. And I'm going to zip through this because I got a video I was going to show you right here. Okay. And this is not a endorsement of Chainlink. It's a great blockchain, but I just want to show you this is the kind of stuff that they're doing. ZKP in RWAs, zero knowledge proofs, plays a vital role in preserving privacy and confidentiality while ensuring trust and compliance in transactions. So advancements in regulatory frameworks, there's got to be clarity in that. Dedicated RWAs chains, there are some like you see will jump into the chain link. That's not all that they're about. It's more about the cross chain of a bunch of blockchains communicating and talking with each other. But that's an important thing. I want to go and jump into this video real quick. It's not very long. I got to mute myself, and then I think you guys should hear it if you give me a thumbs up when it's playing.
Tokenized assets, the new trillion-dollar market opportunity. But what are they exactly? Tokenized assets are digital representations of real-world things. Almost any asset can be tokenized on a blockchain. Tokenized assets are more efficient, more liquid, and more transparent. The biggest banks in the world are already exploring tokenized assets because that's what their clients want. But tokenized assets will be spread across hundreds of blockchains. That's where Chainlink comes in. It connects everything together. Chainlink is how tokenized assets go global, which is why everyone's talking about tokenized.
So yeah, that is kind of the one thing that they, been focused on, right? And I wanted to jump on over here real quick because I just want to show you. Anybody like in the chat too? Have you ever heard of Chainlink? You guys heard of that? Pretty big blockchain. Y'all are muted.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I want to just click on their videos. Chainlink, right? 63,000 subscribers. 9 hours ago, 472 views. Another one. They're not pumping their stuff, right? They're just letting people figure out and what they're doing.
I like his honeycomb background.
You like that, huh? I'm just saying, you go across, this is a very substantial place, 420, views, 555 views. This is them talking about what Chainlink is. And when I go there, I want to show you. Let's look at CoinGecko. All right. If you haven't heard of Chainlink, they are top 20 blockchain, right? Here they are.
Yeah,
Number 13.
they were top 10 back in the day. What, like 2022 or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. But my point is they are almost a $10 trillion or 10 billion, sorry. $10 billion market cap, right? And they almost do a billion a day in trading. Okay. And that's why I brought up their views.
400 views.
400 views. Right.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why I'm doing that is because I know, like a lot of us, we've been here, right? We've been around, and you don't think that you're in the place, right? You don't even realize it, right? And I get it. I'm here right here with you. Sometimes it's hard to believe, right? But we're a pretty powerful and amazing ecosystem, and you better start kind of looking and getting out of your comfort area. Because again, this is a very, and like I said, at least they did it like again, a lot of places they do their kind of hype stuff, right? You can tell that this, because I was going through their channel, right? You could click in there and look, they got comments, got a little bit of views here, but that's all real people, right? That's why you don't play this ridiculous game that the rest of the world and all of this hype train tries to do. But yes, you know, you're talking about when we say stuff like that, when we're sitting here talking about we're a top 3 and maybe a top 2, maybe top 1, right? When we talk about that we're a top blockchain, we are, right? Again, not you might not see it on paper, you might not see your thing like that, but you know, what has been built is way more
Yet,
substantial. Yeah,
you can
not
say
yet.
yet.
Not yet. But way more substantial than what you see in things that you're seeing up here that you're enthralled with, right? Way more substantial than that. It's a pretty incredible thing that's been built here. So I won't stay there too long. Just saying, pretty incredible. You can see it. I'm not you know, just making up stuff here. That's it, like I said, it's just hard sometimes for you to, you know, wow, you know, I've been here, you know, 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Great.
Mhm.
It's a great place to be. It's a great community, great you know, people everywhere, and a lot of people working hard. It's awesome. So um
I didn't
I
mean
didn't really
to laugh out loud. It's just it's funny to me that there's that much money, capital in that, and there's no support. There's not people wanting to constantly learn about the project, support the project. It's just it's funny, right?
it
It's
is.
like it's magic money. People just put their money in and they wait on it to come back 100x, 1000x, 10,000x, and they just
Yeah.
don't care how the process works. You know.
Correct. When if they do, if you really plug in and carve out your space, like seriously, even that anybody says OG and Chainlink, if they would just you know, really dial in and do their thing, you can be you know, a piece of what they're doing anyways. You don't need their
Mhm.
permission to do that, right? You can be the information hub of Chainlink. If you knew and you're inside and you kind of knew and you got to talk to a developer here and there, you could do and carve out your spot. And as this entire thing, as we keep saying, as this really becomes adopted, you're you're a real powerful type influence. Not to be an influencer so you're pumping people's back, but you people are going to listen to what you're saying, and it's an amazing thing. And you can do a lot of stuff with that. And it's not just showing somebody affiliate links or things like that. You're able to kind of you know, direct the conversation, right, and help your own project, right. It's pretty cool, and that's what we've been kind of saying with this whole space. You know, that's why it's important for you to start, you know, doing your thing on whatever social media that you want to, right? Because it is Chainlink. I have just be full. I have Chainlink. I like Chainlink. It's a cool because you're talking about something that does all chains, right? It's trying to be interoperability for all blockchains. Pretty big idea. And I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not plugged into the head people there. I don't know, but I like their idea. And again, they're when you see how they're really trying to do it and not pump numbers, that's awesome, man. That's great stuff. That makes me even more bullish on what they're doing, right? Because it's not that garbage. So I try to stay away from the garbage, and you know that one really kind of stuck to me. I didn't know if anybody else or everybody looked at it, but that's why I know that we're going to be, you know, pretty successful. So I see you got some. What you got there, Tim? You got a map?
Well, it's just gonna show off, you know, my favorite part of the project, but
Yeah, man.
um, and lead into the. You got anything else on the real world
No,
assets?
no,
I mean,
no.
this show was kind of built for everything that I love, so I thank you for going through all that stuff in great detail. I'm gonna share this video more than any other that we've had,
Yeah.
but you know, just very proud of this map and all the monsters that are out there, all the nodes that are being created, and all the people that are just you know, validators besides the monsters, people that have the app that don't have a monster yet, that are just in there playing the game and want to get involved. It's just an amazing thing. And you know, when you look at Chainlink and you see 500 people show up, I mean, you look at this and you see thousands of people across the country, people
Yeah.
that might be very close to your neighborhood. Maybe you see a gap there that needs to be filled. Whatever it is, you this is like right in front of your face, seeing how this game is building from, you know, ground zero to, you know, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 1 or 2 years. This map is going to be absolutely littered with opportunity.
Mhm.
And So I'm of course very bullish on it. But yeah, just to touch on some other stuff, and of course I'll share this one because we're up to 5738.
There it is. I like it. Good number.
This is the page that everybody wants to share, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with my friends in the real estate community. And I wanted to just bring this up again. I did it a couple weeks ago, saying that I was getting involved in the AI part of the real estate business, and but this is going to be a big part of what I want to share with the group to have differentiation with all the stuff that's out there, because there's different AI bots and everything else like that out there. So if you didn't catch that last show, I named it Remain Pro, so that realtors can get involved. And that's RE for real estate, M for our favorite little logo there, and AI, and the N is for network. So just to remain pro and to get involved on the and the M is for the game that we're playing with the monsters, right? So it's right there in the center of this game. And I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, but that's definitely going to be a part of what it takes to be involved with this project that I have here. And of course, it's an AI machine. It's based on Chat GPT 4. So it's the fastest Chat GPT, the original Chat GPT that came out from, what is it, OpenAI. So it's built on a great big framework. And you know, Ray, the OpenAI has a subscription, right? It's $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hard cost value if you want to go and get in and use the real thing. And that's what this is built on and having. So I just go over some of the features of what this thing can do. And of course, you love this one, Ray.
Are you still on the QR code?
Yep,
Okay.
I am. And here it is right there. So I guess I was showing this to myself.
Yeah.
RE, M is in the monsters, and AI network, right?
Yep,
so this was just the home screen. So it's going to have all the AI features that you could want. It's all based on ChatGPT 4, the fastest one that's out there that they're going to keep developing and improving on. So it's a good place to be. Let's go back down to it's the real estate marketing artificial intelligence network. So you're going to be able to do with all these custom templates. We're going to have this based for real estate agents so that they can educate people. And of course, just like this show, I'm going to be educating people on, the real world assets that can be tokenized and the future of what real estate's going to happen, so that realtors can remain relevant. A lot of people still need handholding when it comes to picking a house and everything that goes on. And especially if they're going to add tokenization to it, you're going to need to be able to educate people on that and how it's going to work. But the easy part, or not the easy part, but the fun thing that we're going to do is in here for the social media is people get stuck. You would think that people don't get stuck with the amount of realtors trying to promote themselves, but this will help them with their YouTube titles, tags, all that kind of stuff, Instagram captions, other social media posts, Facebook headlines, and advertising. So this is going to be a tool to help them remain professional and not get the roadblocks and be able to crank out high value content, including all the stuff about real world assets, and being able to go back to, let me go back to this. We're talking about QR codes and checking in. Imagine if you could check into the Empire State Building or to an open house or to an office and get credits and build up, all the rewards that we're going to be working on while we're promoting this thing. Yeah. So I just jump over here because this is just about done. We're hooking up the last APIs, but we've opened up this thing. Let me turn it on. Back over to here on the Remain page. There's a monthly billing plan for $60. Yeah. Now we said ChatGPT was 20, but there'll probably be a coupon or something like that. Annual billing will save you a lot of money. But here, Ray, this is what's going on right now. I've got 250 agents I want that are going to get it for $199 lifetime.
Oh, that's cool.
right? So there'll be no other charges, and this is going to include ChatGPT 4, but it's got the what we were looking at, and you've explained before about the other stuff: the AI writer, the images, a chat, speech to text, voiceover. But here is another benefit: membership to HSTV, the Home Search TV. That's the video network. So when you build AI videos or do your voiceovers or whatever, and you need a place to post it, first place should be Home Search TV.
Yeah.
Here, Ray, take a look at this one.
QR monster team.
The QR monster team.
I like it.
So you know, when we do these QR codes, and I've got a couple monsters that are going to be able to spin up QR codes and help other people who want to get involved to get a monster. There's still some room left on the map.
Right.
So you get in there, and we're going to form a QR monster team. And this, of course, has unlimited word tokens and image tokens. So you're going to be able to spin out a lot of content and do a lot of stuff and talk about the monster team that we're building. And it's a huge, great big app. So I really want to combine all this together for real estate agents who are going to be local hubs. I just think it's a beautiful fit for what we have going on beyond just the crypto world. Really a real world application that's going to be very exciting.
Well, even to them just understanding and using AI properly. That's great.
Yeah. The whole AI thing and being built on Opus AI and what that app is going to do for people, and how we're going to be able to tie that in together. All that stuff being created now, when we get started doing this, it's just going to help and make it such a seamless process. So I'm very excited about this. Open now, and just a limited number of people that I'm going to bring in at a lifetime price.
Yeah.
And then it'll go back to monthly, and we'll figure out where the value is there once I get these people that'll come in and look at it and want to share it and talk to other people about it. But we're going to tie into the QR monster team and be very excited about how we can incorporate real estate agents and this map, because I think it's just a perfect fit. So really excited about that, and making the AI work for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool too. Just the people that are looking for homes, just being able to download, that app, and maybe, seeing some open houses, right? I mean, it can be just for realtors, right? That's a cool thing,
Yep. There's that, and all the Home Search TV will have videos all over the place. But imagine at the end of one of those videos, you get to scan a QR code and get credits and everything that's going to come out from rating loot and all this kind of stuff, and being able to work with people that know what goes on. I think it's just going to be an incredible game to tie into. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah, very cool, man. Cool stuff.
Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me show it off. And if anybody has any questions, just shoot a mention in the chat or whatever. I'll be following along. But contact me on that remain.pro.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna jump into, because I had just, and it's a great way to end it, because I was just going to talk about over here who's starting to do it, just like you, Tim. I mean, you're starting to do it anyway with Remain. So did you have something, Dusty? I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you?
No, I was just going to say that was really freaking cool. I enjoy it. I think it's the first time I've seen that. I knew that Tim had built something around real estate, but that's the first time I've kind of seen it. And it's freaking cool, right? Because it's coming more and more. Like, we've heard that, you can go buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, but what are you going to do when you're showing a house and the home buyer's like, hey, I want to pay with crypto? And you're like, big-eyed, it's time to start educating yourself. My brother's a real estate agent, and we had this debacle at Christmas, as we talked about. Like, hey, man, you need to start educating yourself, because our real world assets are coming, all this digital home buying stuff, it's all coming. You need to start educating yourself now on it. So, dude, I'm sending him this video and be like, hey, you need to team up with this guy. He's got this platform already going. You need to jump in there. You start using the AI. The AI can teach you stuff so fast, right? Faster than you can look it up on the computer. You can just be, hey, what is crypto? As soon as you hit the enter button, it's going to teach you new stuff. So very cool, Tim.
Yeah.
Big pat on the back. Yeah. Big pat on the back.
Thank you. I'm excited. And it's, it is building. It's all brand new. I talked about it last summer with Ray, and finally was able to show it off just a couple weeks ago. But now it's we're just about ready to launch it, and well, it's open if anybody wants to join. But it's going to be building and putting in all those things that will be part of that library. You know, the AI that will have real estate centric answers all built in, so you really don't have to think it up on your own, and all the prompts that you're going to want to do, they're going to be there for realtors. And then the prompts that will educate people on the tokenization of it and all this kind of stuff, so that they can make their own videos or write their own blogs all about this stuff that we're talking about here. We're going to be able to work it, and they're going to be able to spin it up themselves to really speed their educational process up and make them look more professional,
Yep.
and be able to talk to people with some serious knowledge.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. If people are not like like Dusty was just saying, his brother, if they don't, dial in right now, they're going to get passed by, right?
well, yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, when the video boom a couple years ago, everybody was like,
Yeah.
well, if you're not doing video and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you're going to left behind, and people got left behind.
Right.
You
They're
know,
still
so
doing doodle videos with the hand. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy, and that's the point, everybody. I mean, it's just going to be irrelevant, and you don't want to be irrelevant when all this stuff is moving so fast.
Yeah.
And even if you're not in the real estate and you were just like you're just saying, trying to figure out anything to market, I'm just saying it's a good thing. You
well,
have to learn, right?
we've had properties in my town that came up, and they were offered for ETH and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's like, "Ooh, it's just a novelty. It's just that." And
Yeah.
we're talking about a bull run that's going to happen in the next 18 months, 2 years,
Right.
where adoption is going to be accelerating beyond anybody's belief,
Yeah.
and the prices are going to be right there along with it. And people are going to come up and say, "Well, I've got 100 Bitcoin. There's people in my town that probably have 100 Bitcoin or 50
Right.
Bitcoin. And when it
Sure.
goes crazy, they're going to go, well, I'm going to buy a house with it, or put my down payment down with my Bitcoin or my
Sure.
ETH or whatever it is." And you're going to have to be able to speak knowledgeably about that stuff.
Right. Well, and that's why I wanted to end it with this innovations in token, because it's been happening. Everybody, they didn't just start it like here in October of 2023. All right, J.P. Morgan has been the forefront of RWA tokenization. That guy, right? Tokenized Collateral Network (TCN). That's what they've been launching, and it happened in October, right? So that obviously that they've been building for years. So this blockchain-based innovation transforms traditional assets into digital tokens, right? Enhancing on-chain settlements. Significantly, BlackRock utilized J.P. Morgan's Onyx blockchain and TCN to tokenize shares in money market fund. So obviously, that's kind of where maybe their little partnership of what they were doing with the ETF started coming into to focus. But they've been doing it, everybody. I'm just going to scroll down. Franklin Templeton, tokenized fund, launched Franklin on-chain U.S. government money fund in October 2023. Tokenized investment fund with over 309 million in assets under management, right? So again, going to go right through. Citi's digital asset solution, Citi token service in September 20. It's weird.
Yeah.
All of that in this past fall. Isn't that something? It's amazing, right? Kind of like they timed it.
They
right?
knew something was coming.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that they know things? Amazing. ABN, AMRO's digital bond. AMRO registered digital bond on the Stellar blockchain. January. Oh, like last year. All right. So there you go. Raising euro 450,000 euros for APOC. This event marks ABN AMRO's entry into the RWA crypto token space. European investment banks. Blockchain milestone. The European Investment Bank, EIB, heard of them, kind of big, issued a euro 100 million digital bond on a blockchain platform in April of 2021.
Whoa.
Way back. Major financial institutions.
Going
digital
OG.
bond. Right. Murray Asset Securities and Polygon Labs collaboration. So again, just wanted to end it there because they've been doing it. And there's
Right.
a lot more people working and getting their stuff all prepared, because that's what we're talking about is going to happen, and it is happening. It's not happened or happening. It's happening. It's just wild, man. I mean, we've been hearing about it, and mass adoption is right around the corner, and the halving is right around the corner. And then I don't know if you wanted to show, I can pull it up too, Dusty, but you said something about something being delayed with the ETFs. I didn't know if that was, you didn't know, or if that was,
ETH.
kind of. No.
Yeah, the ETF Fidelity had put in for, I think it was January 18th is when the decision was supposed to be made, and they made the decision to push that back till March.
I got you. Okay. And yeah, I was just kind of pulling it up, just like you said. I won't stay on there, but this is what you were talking about, right?
Yep.
SEC. Yep. Commission.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, maybe March, you said, huh?
That's cool.
Was
that an official statement, Ray, or did somebody leak that?
It's leaked. I don't know. And that was leaked?
I think they didn't deny it, right? They just pushed it back. They just
they just want to group them all together so they can
agree
launch
to
them all
not
out again.
Yeah. They just want to be like, hey, let's let the water settle on this one, and then we'll handle this one in March.
Right.
So.
Right.
You can't push it all. You can't bottleneck it, right? Let's spread it out a little. That's right.
They they were like, oh, we'll let all the Bitcoins go together, and somebody was like, well, I might as well put up the ETH one, and they were like, hey, we're gonna do ETH 6 months later. Let's get into the.
Didn't you know we were launching everything in October and the ETF was January? Come on, what's wrong with you? It is. It's ridiculous.
Right there, I shared it. This is what Tim's talking about. This was this morning, 9 hours ago. BlackRock now holds 28,622 Bitcoin worth $1.1 billion for their spot ETF.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is cool. I like following Bitcoin Magazine. This was an article that was put out in January 19th, 2016 by the Washington Post. Rest in peace, Bitcoin. It's time to move on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll up a little bit. It actually shows the Bitcoin ETF right here. The spot ETF 5-day total inflows. You can see BlackRock with a commanding lead. Then you've got Fidelity second place, Bitwise, ARK, and then Invesco. Kind of surprised with this one. I thought ARK would be a leading contender with the inflows of Bitcoin.
Yeah, but you got, Fidelity. Yeah, they're huge, man. You know what I mean? That's like Facebook when they make threads. Of course, you're going to get a billion. All of a sudden, you're going to get all that.
I know, but it was all that competition with the cheapest fee. I kind of thought they'd do better than that. But
no, I hear you.
Well, these guys are just officially setting up their books. That's why the Grayscale was holding all their Bitcoin. Every one of these companies had their Bitcoin in Grayscale, and then just moving it over onto their books. And they haven't even ramped up selling it to their customers yet.
Yeah.
So, they got to have all this in reserves for when they open the floodgates. So that's part of the reason why it hasn't moved or it's pulled back a little bit, because they're just shifting things around because it's legal now.
Yeah.
They have not called. Maybe a couple of their really good customers got to buy some Bitcoin already, but those people know how to buy it anyway. But the floodgates have not opened at all. So they're just setting up shop because it's legal now.
They can set up shop because we're trying to let you know.
Oh yeah, we're in the right spot, and when we say, oh, it's going to happen, then people go, oh, I thought the ETF was going to make it all go crazy. Now it's back for down $5,000.
You're right. If this number continues, it's going to pretty soon, because there's going to be a supply shock. Because you're right, they've been buying up about 6,000 a day.
Yeah,
right. Well, they've been buying it since they made their application. So if the application was, if they said no, you can never have Bitcoin, they still would have owned the Bitcoin, and whatever. And if they dumped it, that'd be a silly thing. That we'd be going down even farther. But I think the sell-off is because people didn't realize that they've already had pockets full of Bitcoin already, but they're going to need more.
Well, that's why we try to tell you about this unknown thing, right? That's about to happen. It's all brought to you by Just download the app.
That's it. Scan the code.
Scan the code.
That
Download the app. That's right. Very easy. Simple.
Get on
in
the
game.
map.
Get in the game. Right.
Drink up.
Drink. That's right. And like I said, it's awesome. I love going through all this kind of stuff because there's so much happening here. This space is like endless. We're just talking about real world assets. There's all this kind of stuff out there to dive into or whatever you're interested in. That's kind of the point, is find what you love in this space and get after it. You got to do that. Find your, like Tim, this is real estate stuff. Dusty, I know he's got to go do a couple things, but he's got great things with fishing, and he's doing awesome things now. Now he's a video creator. Look at him.
Yeah.
But it brings out a lot of stuff into you, and what you already are in you, and you just kind of get after it, right? So appreciate you guys. It was a good show tonight. Thank you, everybody listening. Was there any questions? I see.
There's one question I see in there.
Hold
That's
on.
it.
That's crazy. How are you gonna just drop in? There you go. The purge is happening tonight on X. Will you survive? Yes, we better get over there. So just check it out. Get back in the spaces, right? If you're not, and we'll do the mass migration, right? The great migration.
Little mobbing.
Little mobbing. Gas is good. What is Maurice talking about? Gas is good. Although I have get them at 12, right? So here, wait. So are all these decentralized or no? No. If we were talking about when I was showing you JP Morgan and Chase and those, Robin, none of those were central. Those are all centralized places. Nothing's decentralized. And that's kind of the point, right? There's very few that are truly decentralized. And that's why we love our ecosystem, because it is, Robin. That is the most decentralized place I've seen in this space. And that's saying something, right? Because a lot of people talk that mess, but they don't walk it. And, that's, again, an amazing part, is anybody can be a part of this, right? You see there's assets that you can be a part of and get anywhere, that's a decentralized place. So, yeah, good question. But no, those were all centralized, every one of them. So I think that's it. I'm going through. Yeah. Oh, look, gas is extremely low right now. Okay, that's what she was talking about, Mauritia. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, he's talking to you. I'm sure, Tim. Great site. Open the portal. The SoFi scores. Yeah, that's right. It is. It's kind of going. Oh, did it move?
Did it move? Let me see.
Uh-oh. Apex knows things, man. Look at all those monsters.
Refresh.
Yeah.
No, still 57.38, which is a good number. That's higher than I've ever seen.
Good number. Yes, to open it is. It is flying, Apex. We were looking at the other day, just jumped thousands jumping in. Love it. So appreciate everybody. Right. Have a good, and I think the weekends, not sure. But I think we'll be unless it's breaking news, we won't be doing weekend shows. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Sounds good. Appreciate everybody. Give us a smash the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share the video. Comment below after the video is over. It helps trigger the algorithm because they think that you're interested in our content. That's what YouTube sees. Says, "Oh, look, people are commenting. Thank you, appreciate it."
If you got a realtor friend like Sniper or brother or relative, tag them in the comments below, and I'll say hello.
Yeah,
to everybody that makes a comment in there, and make sure you get taken care of if you want to learn some more. But yeah, tag a friend in the comments, and I'll jump in there.
100%. All right, everybody, have an awesome weekend. Appreciate y'all.
Stay warm.
Yes, sir.